All right, folks, it's time for the news, and definitely a lot going on in the world. We'll be talking about that here on the World Edition and seeing what folks have to say as we're a day before Thanksgiving. And of course, there will be no coverage on Thanksgiving because of it being Thanksgiving Day, but we'll be definitely having stuff next week and everything like that. Still not sure about Friday and where we'll be in that particular regards, but definitely a lot going on in the world. At least 13 are killed as fires engulfs Hong Kong apartments. And they're saying that there was a massive fire engulfing the high rise apartment buildings. And definitely that is something that people are talking about in the Asian world and all along those lines. In London, they're talking about the budget, just like we're talking about it here. They're talking about it there as well, and they're trying to figure out what to do with their budget and everything like that. U.S. government borrowing costs seesaw as official economic forecast was released early. And definitely there are some key points that people are looking at in that space as well. ISOS, cars and pension, how the budget affects you and your money is what the BBC was reporting. And Pope Leo takes message of peace to Middle East on first foreign visit. Pope Leo will be visiting Turkey and Lebanon, and Pope Leo's trip to the Middle East will stress and test interfaith ties. So this will be where he'll be going on his first foreign trip is Lebanon and Turkey. So folks will definitely be paying attention to that and seeing what happens in that regards. Once in 300 years, rain hits Thai city as flood ravages Southeast Asia. Social media video shows impact of deadly flooding across Southeast Asia. So definitely that is something that folks are talking about as well. So definitely Thailand to airlift critical patients as southern floods kill 300. Taiwan's President Lei lashes out against Beijing, pledges $40 billion in defense spending. So he's planning an extra $40 billion in defense spending to counter China. And definitely that's what the folks are talking about as Taiwan put $40 billion toward building a defense dome and buying U.S. weapons. Israel returns 15 more Palestinian bodies to Gaza as the first phase of the ceasefire is nearing. Israel confirms Hamas and PIJ return bodies of Gaza hostage Dror Or. So definitely that's something going on in that space. And we'll see if other things are going on as well. Woman gets a life sentence for killing children in New Zealand suitcase murder. A woman who murdered her two children and left them in suitcases is jailed for at least 17 years. And definitely that is something that people are talking about as well. Mother who hid the children's bodies in a suitcase jailed for life in New Zealand. And Italy now recognizes the crime of femicide and punishes it with life in prison. And definitely that is something that people are talking about as well. So definitely we're hearing a lot about things going on in that space. And definitely always good to have these conversations and all along those lines. So always glad to be talking about it. And Russia is pursuing a peace plan on its own terms. So the wrong sort of peace leads to the next war, is what The Economist is saying. And Putin knows his war is existential, is what the Telegraph is saying in their reporting. Trump's meeting with MBS got tense over Israel, so there was some tension in that particular meeting. The Saudi crown prince's pushback on Israel normalization reportedly irked Trump. So Donald Trump and Ben Salman talk on the Abraham Accords was strained, and definitely that's something that folks are talking about as well. So definitely folks are trying to figure out what's going on in that space. And a man pleads guilty in Liverpool title parade crash. Liverpool parade crash footage shows rampage was act of calculated violence. Paul Newell Paul Dole pleads guilty to Liverpool parade charges. And man changes plan and admits charges over the Liverpool soccer parade crash. UN climate negotiations burned up and then fizzled out, so fossil fuel giants finally in the crosshairs. COP30 avoids total failure with a last-ditch deal. So definitely we're seeing what goes on and what happens in that space. Images of dog rescuing cat in Thai flood likely used AI, is what an expert says. So Russia strikes Ukraine and signals resistance to amended peace plan. And 7 killed in Kyiv as Russia hits Ukraine energy sector with missiles and drones. So definitely that's something that folks are talking about as well. And can Europe save frozen Russian assets from Donald Trump? EU countries are seeking an urgent plan B to fund Ukraine. EU steps up pursuit of frozen Russian assets to aid Ukraine and all along those lines. And 4 more have been detained, as we reported yesterday, in the Louvre heist, as the fate of the jewels remains unknown. So we don't know where the jewels are, but they have apprehended some more people. Japan's new leader infuriated Beijing. We were just talking about that. And Japan plans to put SAMs on a strategic island 70 miles from Taiwan, and that could just be the beginning. So that's definitely something that folks are talking about as well. So lots going on in that space and seeing where that is as well. China launches the Chenzhou 22 spacecraft to assist in return of 3 stranded astronauts. So they're trying to get those 3 stranded astronauts back into the area and all along those lines. So we'll see what folks have to say in that space and what's going on there as well. So lots going on in the world, and we're always glad to report that here on the network. China completes the first emergency mission to Tiangong Space Station, and China will be to launch the rescue Chenzhou 22 spacecraft for the stranded astronauts. And one spouse is enough, Vatican tells the world's Catholics. So not trying to encourage multiple wives in the way that the Mormons and others do, but they're just saying that one wife is enough. That's what the Vatican is telling the world's Catholics. One spouse for life, Vatican issues new decree under Pope Leo the 14th, and folks are asking what it specifically says. And Catholics warned against polygamy in new decree approved by Pope Leo. So the Vatican warns against the rise in polyamory and says succession of faces does not rival exclusive union. So we'll see what folks have to say. I think that Nick, our founder, has been in his relationship and his marriage for many years, probably even decades. And I want to say that until he passed, Kim, one of our other founders, was definitely in a long-term relationship. I think they met as high school sweethearts, and he just recently passed not that long ago. 24 Nigerian schoolgirls released over a week after abduction. So that's definitely something that folks are talking about as well. As 24 schoolgirls were freed after the kidnapping in northwestern Nigeria last week. So definitely that's something that's going on as well. Jakarta is now the biggest city in the world. Indonesia's Jakarta is now the world's largest city. Tokyo falls to third. 4/5 of the world's population now live in urban areas, and Jakarta overtakes Tokyo as the world's largest city, according to a UN report. Macron to present a new French national service plan. France set to revive military conscription, but this time it's voluntary. Macron's gap year military service to boost defenses against Russia, and Macron halts youth deployment to Ukraine as he pushes new Africa resource plan. An arrest warrant was issued for Miss Universe co-owner amid mounting controversy surrounding the pageant. So Bangkok court issues an arrest warrant for Thai co-owner of the Miss Universe pageant. And JKN executive exits Spur Crypto Annual. So definitely lots going on in the world. As, like I said, arrest warrant was issued for Miss Universe co-owner amid those mounting controversies surrounding the pageant. The JKN executive exit spurs crypto rumors amid a $92 million debt crisis. So the Bangkok court has issued an arrest warrant for Thai co-owner of the Miss Universe pageant. And JKN executive spurs crypto rumors amid that whole crisis. So we'll see how that all plays out as well. So, like I said, lots going on in various pockets of the world, even as America gets ready for Thanksgiving on tomorrow. Nigerian father felt helpless as he saw children taken from Catholic school in Papiri, and Nigeria's mass school kidnapping exposes Tinubu's security troubles. Number of children abducted in Nigerian school attack raised to more than 300. So it does look like that is a problem in Nigeria. And hundreds of Israeli soldiers raid Palestinian town in the West Bank. Israeli launches new military operation in northern West Bank, and Israel lays siege to the occupied West Bank's Tubas, displacing tens of families. So the mayor of Palestinian town said detained in Israeli military op medical report 10 were wounded. And Xi presses Trump on Taiwan as they agree to meet in China in April. So they're agreeing that they're actually going to have a meeting in April, and we'll see how this meeting goes and what takes place in the meeting as well. So that is definitely something that folks are talking about also. And China Xi Jinping raises future of Taiwan in the call with Donald Trump. So Xi puts biggest U.S.-China flashpoint back on the agenda in the Trump call and all along those lines. So that's definitely something that people are talking about as well. And Imperial Israel in the new Middle East. Is Lebanon the new flashpoint for Israel? Lebanese sources worry that Israeli escalation will weaken government and thwart Hezbollah disarmament. So definitely, Israel defense minister vows no calm in Lebanon without security for Israel. And top EU court rules same-sex marriages must be recognized throughout the bloc. So same-sex marriages must be respected throughout the EU is what a top court tells Poland. So top EU court mandates some same-sex marriage recognition across borders. And an Italian man accused of dressing up as his dead mom to claim her pension. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. The son dressed as a dead mother in Miss Doubtfire ruse to claim her pension. And Putin tried to negotiate an end to the Ukraine war as he cannot win it on the battlefield. Says EU's callous. And the Europeans are pushing the NATO poison pill and no real intent in Moscow to engage in peace talks, says von der Leyen. And Kremlin says European counterproposal for Ukraine peace does not work for Russia. So it looks like they still are not coming to any sort of agreement. India flights impacted by Ethiopia volcano ash cloud. Volcano in Ethiopia erupts for the first time in nearly 12,000 years. It felt like a sudden bomb. Ethiopia volcano ash forces Indian carriers to cancel the flights. And the volcano erupted for the first time in 10,000 years, sending ash clouds across the continents. India and China trade barbs after a passenger was detained at the Shanghai airport. India and China in new spat over Arunachal Pradesh. So what it's all about, some people are asking that. And India lodges strong protest with China over the detention of the Indian woman. So India protests China's arbitrary detention of citizen at the Shanghai airport. And like we were talking a little bit about the far-right Australian senator that was suspended from parliament for wearing the burqa in a protest. So definitely that was one of the other stories as well. And Justice Secretary wants most jury trials scrapped in the UK. Number 10 says no final decision after leak reveals jury trials might be scrapped except for alleged rapists and killers as it happened. The minister plans to scrap jury trials in England and Wales, except for the most serious cases. So that's something that folks are talking about as well. And London is about to make your visit more expensive. English mayors will get new power to levy tourist tax. So they're going to get that permission to be able to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how that impacts people traveling to that area. And airlines cancel Venezuela flights amid U.S. warning and a military buildup. Venezuela demands international airlines resume flights, and FAA warns all pilots of the risk of flying over Venezuela over worsening security situation. And like I said yesterday, climate activist Greta Thunberg was banned for Venice after her stunt of painting the Grand Canal a green substance. I think it was dyed green, if I remember correctly, and all along those lines. But yeah, I think it was dyed green, if my memory is serving me correctly in that particular sense, and all along those lines. I'm going to get to some U.S. news, but first I'm going to play a couple of PSAs, including one I believe, for National Pension. And then we'll be back. We'll see if any of our guests come back as well.
One of the things that business owners forget a lot is to prepare for their own retirement.
Hi, my name's Nick Palavita, and today I'm with a very special guest, a certified financial planner, a chartered retirement plan specialist, and president of National Pension Partners, Max Couliet. Max, tell me what you do at National Pension Partners.
Well, Nick, we help successful small businesses and professionals put together retirement plans that provide them the maximum retirement benefits and big tax deductions at the same time.
Well, how do you do this?
Well, we get on an internet conferencing system with the client. We review their goals, what they want to accomplish, and then put together strategies to help them in implementing a retirement plan that benefits them, not everybody else.
Well, that sounds really good, but how much does this cost?
Well, it's really not bad because the first consultation is free. That allows us to go through and discover whether this strategy works for that business and for you as the business owner and helping you maximize your retirement.
Well, Max, how do we get this free appointment?
It's really pretty simple, Nick. You can either go to our website below or call us at 877-252-1692, and then we can set up a time with either myself, Nick, or one of our other retirement plan specialists, another CPA or advisor in the office, to go over this with you and make sure it fits for you.
Hi, my name is Lewis Haupt. I work with National Pension Partners, and I work with businesses to allow them to put the maximum away that they can for themselves and to save taxes.
Hi, I'm Brad Coyle, and I'm the brokerage manager at National Pension Partners. We're always analyzing plan fund choices in order to ensure the participant's success.
If you want more information on how we can help you and your business put more money away in a retirement plan than you ever thought possible, contact us at the website below or call us at 877-252.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando Mario me dijo que tenía problemas en el trabajo, que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él. Y quiero que me apoyen, que me entiendan y que me quieran.
You know how people love to enjoy food and don't understand how to flavor their food or how to replicate a meal? They're interested in supplements but don't know where to begin? Well, what I do is I take the guesswork out of enjoying flavor and wellness with my flavorful spice blends so that they can create delicious meals with healing benefits. Can Do Spice was created to help cooks at any level enjoy healing through food. Every spice blend was designed to give added health benefits of natural herbs. Every blend is complete. There's no need to add any additional spice for a delicious meal. Saving you time and money while adding supplements to your meals can be both tasty and fun. My earliest memories in the kitchen began with my father, Kenny Can Do Bond, so it was fitting that I would name this line after him. I have always looked to natural remedies to supplement the body, and I found myself hiding herbs and minerals in foods for my family. That's when it hit me. Everyone needs Can Do Spice. Everyone should be having this. It's an exclusive brand for cooks at any level who want to create flavorful dishes with healing benefits that can satisfy the body and soul. Add a little spice to your life. Give Can Do Spice a try.
Valdosta Nissan has your new Nissan. Come drive yours away today.
Our flagship all-new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder comes with style and new advanced safety technology. Go on a new adventure with just 1.9% financing right now. 2022 Rogues are dropping in daily. Also available with just 1.9% financing right now.
Plus, get free oil changes for life and a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. That's real service after the sale.
The thrill of the drive, only at Valdosta Nissan.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Mama, Papa, was your suitcase packed but not mine? How could you leave us kids behind? Parents are going on a cruise without us kids, and we know whose fault this is. Virgin Voyages says we can't cruise till we're 18, which makes us shake like we had caffeine. Virgin Voyages says no kids on the ocean, so we're causing a commotion. You'll be sipping cocktails under a starlit night while we're back home without an invite. Sure, you've earned a gourmet spread, but we're experiencing existential dread.
Adults, enjoy the cruise. We know you deserve it, but the fact we can't go is total bull.
All right, folks, we'll get into some U.S. news, and then we'll see if anybody shows up. Otherwise, it might be an abbreviated version of World Edition on this particular day. Of course, we'll be back on the regularly scheduled times on possibly Friday, but definitely on the following Monday and the weeks leading into Christmas and all along those lines. Missing high school coach Travis Turner is facing charges, officials are saying. Virginia State Police continue the search for the missing football coach. Missing Virginia high school football coach is wanted on child porn charges, police are saying. So missing Virginia high school coach is wanted on charges of child pornography, and we'll see how this all plays out and if they're able to obtain and catch him and all along those lines. Hedges focuses on potential punishment for Senator Kelly in confrontation over illegal orders video. Democrats who told troops to disobey illegal orders push back on alleged FBI probe. Senator Kelly says Pete Hedges totally unqualified after being bashed over his display of medals. Trump hikes national park fees for foreign visitors, so the Department of the Interior announced modernized, more affordable national park access. Interior rolls out 2026 non-resident fees in National Park, some $100 per person, and U.S. triples the national park fee for non-residents amid new fees for Americans. And departing Marjorie Taylor Greene, the canary in the coal mine for Republicans, is what some folks are paralleling her to. And Trump says he would love for Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene return to politics at some point. And definitely that's something that's going on. And we'll see what happens next for Marjorie Taylor Greene after her exit from Congress. Ukraine agrees to peace proposal with only minor details to settle, officials say, but no words from Russia. Russia-Ukraine peace plan. What's the latest version after the U.S. and Kyiv talks? Putin is playing Trump for a time, but the 28-point peace plan plays into his hand. And the U.S. peace plan for Ukraine drew from Russia documents, according to what sources are saying, and all along those lines. Trump rages about New York Times story on age. Perfect physical exam is what he's saying. And shorter days, signs of fatigue. Trump faces the realities of aging in office, according to the New York Times. And Trump lashes out at a New York Times reporter in the latest outburst at a female journalist. Ugly both inside and outside is what he's claiming. And Trump, 79, has appeared in public 40% less than his first term. Thanksgiving holiday travel and the latest weather forecast. Thanksgiving travelers are set to face winter storms in some areas, strong winds and heavy snow as well. And looks like back-to-back winter storms for the north, rain and storms in the south and the east. But it looks like the storm might give some of these states a snowy Thanksgiving. And Trump pardons the Thanksgiving turkey, blasts Biden, and it says Ukraine peace deal is very close. So at a partner ceremony, Trump informs turkeys of all he's accomplished. Trump spares turkeys, but not his political opponents at the annual partnering ceremony. Charges filed 5 years after man found shot dead in Native American community. I carry him in my heart every day. An ICE arrest woman with family connection to White House is what Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt is saying. So White House spokesman Leavitt now has a family connection to an ICE arrival. Or ICE. So White House spokesman Leavitt now has a family connection to an ICE arrest. Karoline Leavitt's nephew, mother detained by a U.S. immigration agent, and a woman with family ties to White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt has been arrested by ICE. And Trump says he would rather not extend Obamacare tax credits at all. Health care plan circulated by the White House runs into familiar GOP division, and Trump advisors working on plan to extend Obamacare subsidies. Do they have the votes? Johnson told White House that Republicans aren't interested in extending ACA subsidies, according to what sources are saying in that particular case and along those lines. So they're saying that they're not interested in doing that at all. Trump brushes off concerns about Witkoff's interaction with Russians as leaked transcript rolls Washington. And some people are saying, who leaked Witkoff's call, advising the Kremlin on how to get Trump on the side. And Witkoff discusses the Ukraine plan with key Putin aides and all along those lines. America's first scar looms over Trump's Venezuela campaign. So Trump was thinking that he needed some approval or something like that. So we're going to see what goes on in that sense and what happens and whether it's something that goes on in that way. I'm going to actually put the banner out here with the StreamYard, and if any of you folks feel like joining me before I get ready to wrap up, you can definitely do that if you're watching and want to join in the conversation and all along those lines. I'm actually going to put it there, and then we'll see if anybody wants to join our conversation and see what they've got on their mind and everything like that. I know I sent it to my regulars, but it is the holidays, and they may not have gotten it and all along those lines. So we're going to see whether anybody is interested in joining the conversation and what they want to bring to the conversation as well. But other than that, we'll get ready to end probably earlier than usual, unless somebody decides they want to pop in and join the conversation as well. But yeah, that's something that is going on. If you want to click that link and keep the conversation going, we can do that as well. America's first scar looms over Trump's Venezuela campaign. So Southern Spear is bigger than Venezuela. And definitely they're saying that what's Trump window to strike Venezuela. So he might have a timeline that he's looking at as well. And school delay or cancel classes as snow causes treacherous travel across Minnesota and other parts of the Midwest, I would say. But Minneapolis school closings for November 26, 2025. And some people are saying who got the most snow from the winter storm, whether it was Minnesota, Wisconsin, or some of the other areas that are in that area. And many spin out in vehicles hitting the ditches after the first snowfall of the season in that part of the area. U.S. Navy nixes Constellation frigate program after 2 ships were half built. So the U.S. Navy axes the frigate program in another blow to efforts to keep up with China's fleet. The U.S. Navy is canceling its future frigates in a blow to its ambition to grow the fleet. So the Navy cancels the remaining ships that would have been built in Marinetta. U.S. Army Secretary warned Ukraine of imminent defeat while pushing initial peace plan, and U.S. Army Secretary takes unlikely role as key negotiator in the push to end this long-standing Ukraine-Russian war. And some people, including those at CNN, are asking how Trump's drone guide became central in the U.S. effort to end the Ukraine war, and U.S. officials say Ukraine delegation has agreed with the U.S. on terms of a potential peace deal, and that was from yesterday. The FDNY Commissioner, Robert S. Tucker, explains his emotional decision to leave the role after Mamdani won. And in a City Hall house cleaning, Mamdani asked 179 Adams staff members to quit. And Mayor-elect Mamdani tells 170 senior Adams administration staffers to be out by January 1st. So it looks like he might be cleaning the house as well and seeing what he's going to bring in. Without prejudice, what this 2-word legalese means for the dismissed charges against some folks. So Trump's retribution push has expanded even as it hits legal barriers. Lindsey Hogan is disqualified, but there are major questions about what comes next in terms of the James Comey and the Letitia James case. And Supreme Court is posed to reshape the next 3 election cycles. Trump pushes for new congressional maps is meeting resistance from both parties, and Texas adds the redistricting war deluge at Supreme Court. So DOJ tries to undo the damage of its ham-fisted letter in the Texas gerrymandering situation. And county clerk issues joint message to Governor Jared Polis to keep Tiny Peters in California custody. MAGA lawyer wants Trump to send in the 101st Airborne to free election denier Tina Peters. And Governor Polis urged not to grant, let's see what they're urged to not grant. Urged not to grant feds the Tina Peters transfer request. And Mamdani meeting with Trump scrambled the megasphere. And Trump's Mamdani expresses complicates Elise Stephanik's path to governorship. So we'll see how this all plays out even in the governor's race as well. You know, sometimes the midterm elections, the losing party does gain some ground. West Virginia Senator Jim Justice agrees to pay nearly $5.2 million in overdue personal taxes. So definitely that's something in the news as well. And Senator Jim Justice and his wife were sued for and agreed to pay $5 million in unpaid taxes from back as far as 2009. And folks are still asking what we know about the cruise ship death of Anna Kepner. The Florida teenager was on a Carnival cruise ship, and they're ruling that particular death as a homicide. But the family of the 18-year-old who died on the cruise speaks out as stepbrother is named a suspect. So we'll see how this all plays out and what's going on in that legal realm. A federal defense contractor is seeking hundreds of coastal Oregon hotel rooms. So the federal judge orders the return of the Coast Guard helicopter to Newport, and ICE contractor informs Oregon agency of incoming Newport action. Something's going on. So it looks like they might be coming to Oregon, the ICE folks, as well. And magnitude 4.6 earthquake rattles Hawaii's Kilauea, following the volcano's 37th, I think, eruption, but lava spewed out from Hawaii's Kilauea as volcano erupted again. So it definitely looks like there's some volcanoes erupting as well. And 20 states sued the Trump administration over cuts to homeless permanent housing. So I do know that there were a couple of places, like one in LA, and I think the other in San Francisco, they had built like some sanctuary areas. So we'll see what goes on in that space and what's going to happen there. 20 states are suing the Trump administration over cuts to homeless permanent housing, and New York leads efforts to stop plans that could cut housing for 170,000 people. Oregon sues HUD over new rules related to homeless permanent housing funding. So there's a lot going on in that. And half of Americans approve of Democrats' message on illegal orders. Military personnel shouldn't follow unlawful orders, no matter what Trump or J.D. Vance says. And even ABC News was saying that they had a story where they were asking whether the military members can refuse orders. And apparently, in certain cases, they might be able to. Law enforcement and protesters clash as federal agents make arrests in St. Paul. So that's going on in the Minneapolis area. St. Paul mayor and police chief defend officers after protests clash with ICE agents during the raid. So that's something going on as well. Slender Man Stabber recaptured, a timeline of the original case, her disappearance, and return to custody. Slender Man Stabber escapee proves she should never have been released, experts say. So we can say that's a retrial or what goes on in that particular sense. And doctors critical of vaccines are quietly appointed as CDC's second in command. Louisiana Surgeon General, who stopped promoting vaccination, will be second in command as CDC. Meet Ralph Lee Abraham, the CDC's new second in command, who believes the Affordable Care Act to be repealed and cause vaccines dangerous. So that's something else going on in the world also. And Kristi Noem made a call to hand over a deported man to El Salvador, is what the Department of Justice is saying. Noem okayed an El Salvador deportation despite the court order, is what the Department of Justice has reported. And they acknowledged, the Department of Justice, that Kristi Noem made the decision to continue deportation flights to El Salvador despite the judge's order. And Eric Swalwell filed suit against Bill Pulte and claiming privacy law violations. Erica Swalwell sues Trump official over the mortgage fraud accusations. So definitely lots going on, including the redistricting and stuff, because after Trump pressure, Indiana lawmakers shift to convene on redistricting and all in that space. So in Wisconsin, I think, is dealing with some redistricting as well. So lots going on in that space and everything like that. So Elon Musk might have just accidentally revealed that a lot of mega influencers are not happy with Trump. So, of course, X is filled with fake overseas and over there. X feature reveals location of some users that they're saying it could backfire. Of course, X is filled with fake overseas account. It's built for that. So that's something that's going on in the news as well. So I'm going to put on a couple of maybe a couple of more announcements and all along those lines, but this will be an abbreviated version of the news on this particular day since none of the regulars were here, but we did get to a lot of the news stories and all along those lines. But I'm going to play a couple of PSAs and then we'll get out of here probably about the 40 or 45 mark unless somebody comes in.
Brand yourself. You are your own ambassador. Make connections. Find yourself to be valuable not only as a mentee, but as a mentor. Create that network so that you can have a system, a network of individuals where you can bounce ideas off of and just share from a creative perspective your thoughts on how to make this industry better. And that's what it really takes to get to the next level, is really connecting your passion with your purpose.
Welcome to National Pension Partners, where retirement planning meets peace of mind. Today, we're diving into the 412(e)(3 plan, also known as a fully insured pension plan. This isn't just any retirement plan. It's the gold standard for stability and guaranteed benefits. How does it work? Simple. It's funded exclusively by life insurance and annuity contracts. This means no market risks, no actuarial assumptions, just ironclad guarantees. Think of it like this. You're a small business owner who hates surprises. The 412(e)(3 plan gives you predictable, stable contributions every year. Your future benefits are backed by insurance contracts, so you know exactly what you're getting. No guesswork, no headaches. But there's more. These plans are designed to maximize your contributions and offer significant tax advantages. And with National Pension Partners, you're not just getting a plan, you're getting a team of experts, attorneys, CPAs, actuaries, all dedicated to making your retirement as secure as possible. We provide personalized consulting, ensuring that your plan is tailored to your specific needs. Best part, initial consultations and proposals are absolutely free. $0, zero commitment. So if you want a retirement plan that's as reliable as your morning coffee, head over to nationalpensions.com. With the 412(e)(3 plan, your future is in safe hands. Retirement planning never sounded so thrilling. Perfect for small business owners who like their finances as predictable as Monday mornings. Stable contributions, ironclad guarantees, and serious tax advantages. It's the trifecta of financial security. And with National Pension Partners, you get a team of brainiacs, attorneys, CPAs, actuaries, ensuring your retirement is as secure as Fort Knox. Oh, did we mention the free consultations? That's right. You get a personalized expert proposal with $0 down. So, if you want a retirement plan that's as reliable as your morning coffee, head over to nationalpensions.com. Because when it comes to your future, boring is the new exciting. Retirement planning never sounded so thrilling. For more details, check out National Pension Partners at nationalpensions.com. Retirement planning never sounded so thrilling.